Hey everybody, welcome to episode 29 of Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. This is still the beta series 0.90. And we're going to take a look at some contracts here to see what's out there. What are my active contracts? I still need science from data and atmospheric scans around Duna. I could almost do those with the orbiter that I have. These are both above 11,000 meters. I might be able to do those with the orbiter that I already have in place in Duna. But I'll probably work on this at another time. I'm kind of curious, actually. Build a new surface outpost on Minmas. I think this one will be a pretty interesting challenge. It's also worth $250,000 funds. Plus 250 science, a little bit of reputation, and we get a decent-sized cash advance. Not that I need it. I have 1.2 million funds right now. So we're going to accept that contract. We are going to need to go to the astronaut complex, because we only have Bob Kerman available for flights right now. We're going to end up building a surface outpost. And it might as well be a science outpost. So, I think we'll build something bigger and bring ourselves along a full complement of crew for the mission. Excuse me. Okay, when I was in the special feature looking, I realized I didn't have any other pilots. And I want one. So, Barman Kerman, he's not very courageous. We'll go with Henzon, who's both highly courageous and highly stupid. I don't know if those stats actually do anything. Jebediah, Bill, Tanvan, lost in action. And we'll go ahead and load up our pentabase. Bob, you don't need to be on there as the pilot. We'll grab you as the pilot. And grab our newbie crew and send them out to Minmas. Yeah, let's go ahead and launch that. So one thing that's really cool with this docking port on top is we could actually land something on, like a refueler on top of it. Drop off some fuel and have this take off and come back home eventually. Or, all sorts of other things. So, I don't think there's much else to do other than turn SAS on, get our engines heated up, and go. We are bound for Minmas. What I could do is this. I'm going to save just a little bit of Delta V. And the way I'm going to do that is by fast-forwarding time until our launch site is over Minmas's orbital plane. Like, more or less... Oh, I was way off. Well, that's good enough. We'll fix the rest in a bit. And we're going to launch. In 3, 2, 1... Kaboom-go! I like how this rocket's behaving so far. Nice and stable, nothing overly overheating. We're headed up relatively quickly. Gonna drain out this first tank and stage it off. Hopefully it won't blow up our entire thing on the way out. And we're getting ready to lose a bunch of thrust, but that's okay. Gone with that stage. Oh, I love that separation. Ooh, these things are not powerful enough. This is not going to be a particularly efficient launch because the skipper just is a little underpowered. I should have put on the mainsail. Oh well, we will run with what we've got. We'll just have to get more altitude before we do our gravity pitch over. Yeah, we're picking up some speed, and these engines are not going to actually... Oh, yes, they are. They are seriously empty. Well, they were reporting empty. They were reporting empty, but weren't empty. Oh, I know what happened. I know what happened. Yeah, what happened is I was looking at the wrong fuel tank. Now, launch it again. Straight up and away. I like this dual fuel tank setup because this separation was really nice. So we're going to head up as fast as we can. Since we know we're going to lose some velocity. In fact, what I can do is I can back off at 100 meters per second. Just a little bit. And full throttle, stage off. Yeah, we didn't lose any speed at all. And now we're picking it up because we weren't fighting so much at quite as much air resistance. Picking up plenty of speed. I like how this is working. Have hands-on in the pilot seat, and these two guys just riding along in the hitchhiker. So we're coming up on 180 meters per second at 190 now. 200, still gaining speed quite adequately. Here goes the staging. Kersplat. Maintaining more than 200 meters per second surface velocity, so we'll go ahead and start pitching this over a little bit and let our surface vector kind of change. Yes, 15,000 meters. We're just going to tap this over, get it on that orbit vector. I want to try to keep this a little bit close to the surface thing. All right, we are now headed up. Gonna flip over the map and see how things are looking. Our apoapsis is being pushed away from us at a good clip. So we can go ahead and park ourselves on the orbit vector. Kind of wish I had a little bit of a better pilot than he could actually fly prograde for us. You know what I should do? I should make a space plane training vehicle. Its sole job is to fly into space and then return back to the space center. Apoapsis is still 35 seconds ahead. I am not worried about that being an issue. I'll just keep on pushing this out. We're going to have a pretty shallow ascent, though, which means it's going to take a little bit to get into orbit, actually, since we won't be able to do time acceleration. That's okay. No big deal. This is actually a really efficient ascent profile as it is. 40,000 meters, we're not at risk of having to run into any atmospheric problems. So we're getting into the thinnest part of the atmosphere. Now we're really pushing that apoapsis way out there, which is awesome. That's exactly what we want. We are running out of fuel in this main stage, though. It might not be enough. I might have wanted just one more asparagus stage added on there for the sake of having it. Maybe it is enough. We will see. Apoapsis is flying out now. 75,000 meter apoapsis, plenty of fuel for circularization, plus a little bit of a boost towards Minmas to begin with. So, I am going to fast forward time until we get to that apoapsis, and I'll see you guys there. Hang tight. Alright, we're back, and we're planning our circularization burn, which shouldn't take much time at all. It is, in fact, a 3-second burn coming up in just over a minute. So I'll go ahead and, since it's such a small burn, I'll do it at 50% throttle. Just get aimed at the burn vector. Now, I neglected to do it because I'm stupid. But the whole point of moving my launch so that it was closer to Minmas's plane, so that I could actually launch a little bit off the 90-degree angle and include the plane change in my initial burn. But I wasn't paying attention, wasn't thinking about it, was doing the same old routine I've always done forever and ever, and just didn't do it. So we'll have to do a manual plane change later on. 15 seconds away from this burn, and we're ready to send this base to Minmas. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 50% throttle. 1, 0. And we are now approaching orbit. Periapsis of 72, apoapsis of 73. Things are looking good. If we wanted to, oh well, I did get a little bit of downplane. If we wanted to, we could get on the horizon, or no, the horizon has a little bit of upplane. But I'm not going to worry about it. Minmas. Set as target. Oh, we're pretty much on departure angle right now. Or are we? No, that's us. Getting confused with the two craft that are orbiting. Okay. We'll plan this burn. And then I do have one mission that I want to accomplish really quick. Just get this set to where I want it. We are going to need to do a plane change before then to be able to adequately plan that. So we'll do a node fix right here. There we go. Get our ship facing the right direction for that burn. It's not coming up for another 28 minutes. Once we get ourselves set in the right spot here, I don't have a lot of torque. Just whatever's in the capilla. Okay. Now, I had this mission lingering over that I keep forgetting to do over and over and over again. Transmit or recover scientific data from space around Kerbal. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Just get a crew report. Send that back. We're in space now, so we can actually extend our panels. A little contract completed for 28,000 funds. Okay, let's fast forward to this burn here. I'll catch you guys in a bit when we're there. Alright, we're about 15 seconds or so away from this plane change burn. We're going to get our ascending node corrected with respect to Minmas. And then we'll be able to actually do our orbital insertion burn. So let's go ahead and get this warmed up at 50% throttle. We're burning 8 per second, which means we only have really, not quite 100 seconds of fuel at this rate. Okay, that does that. We are at 0.0 on the nodes, which is perfect. And let's get ourselves a Minmas injection setup. Now we know that this burn is going to be crossing 2 stages. So I am going to, well, let me get it set first. There we go. Nice long Minmas encounter. Get ourselves facing the right direction. Okay, that took forever. We're set for this burn. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward time. I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Okay, here we are. We're in final preparation for this burn. What I'm going to do at estimated burn, at the estimated burn time, is fire up this main engine, this skipper, at 50% throttle. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I know that we're going to have to stage in the middle of this burn, and we're going to lose a lot of thrust, but we're also going to lose a fair bit of mass. So I'm not sure exactly how long the burn's actually going to be, since I don't know how long this engine needs to run to complete it. So let's go ahead and get that started now. 50% throttle is good enough for me. Whoa, get on the marker. So overall, this might be about a minute, minute and a half burn. I'm not sure exactly. I can't remember how powerful how this ship is a little more massive, so I don't know exactly how long it's going to take. But we're waiting for this stage to run out of juice first. If it has enough to get us all the way there, I'd be surprised. You know, it almost did. And the rest of this burn is going to be long. But that's okay. Minmas is such a tiny body that this thing should have plenty of juice to land us. Let's get ourselves set here for maximal solar panelage. And at this point we can sort of watch this from the map to see our actuals happen here. In fact, I'll get rid of this maneuver and we'll just watch how this thing increases as we go up. Alright, so here we are. We've completed the burn. We've staged off the other pentabase debris, and we're now on our way to Minmas, having used a little bit of thrust from this engine. But that's okay, because we had planned on all of the Delta V requirements to get to Minmas and land and everything. So I am actually going to fast forward time all the way to encounter. I'll see you guys there. Hang tight. Alright, we are a little ways away from the encounter. I can see by the by this periapsis that are actually pretty far away from Minmas encounter. So what I'm going to do is face orbit anti-normal, or no, orbit radial. Actually, it should be anti-radial. Let's flip around to anti-radial. Yes. This is anti-radial with respect to Kerbal, which means we're facing out that way, sort of that way. And we're going to bring this periapsis nice and close to Minmas. The further you are away, again, the better off everything's going to be. And I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, for some reason, we've lost our Minmas encounter. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Why that would have happened. So, I guess, I don't know. Do I spin a little fuel and go back? Until I get an encounter of some kind? That's weird that that happened. Alright, I think something fishy is going on here with time acceleration. We'll just time accelerate over. And see what actually happens when Minmas comes by. See? See? It was lying to me the whole time. Alright. I'm not going to do anything terribly fancy. We're going to set ourselves up a base right in this lake bed. So, right here at the periapsis. Let me zoom in on Minmas. So right here at the periapsis, as we're flying by, we will hit the brakes. And bring ourselves to a nice sort of landing attitude. Maybe a bit like this. Plane change down. Yes, we'll land in that dry lake, that frozen lake bed. So let me fast forward time to this maneuver coming up. Okay, we're a minute away. Minmas has rotated a fair bit underneath us, so we're going to go ahead and extend this burn to sort of give us something like that. It's a 35-second burn, which means we will start it at about 17 seconds T-minus. And there we go. I recently learned that the Z key is the key to instantly turn on all your engines. We are now coming down, or slowing down, preparing ourselves for a landing on Minmas. 1, 0, done. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fast forward a little bit until I get to where I want to do a deceleration burn to land us. So this is a rather eccentric orbit around Minmas. I actually want to... well, that lake is heading into the shadows. That's okay, it doesn't matter. Right about here, we're going to face retrograde. And get ourselves set up for descent. Aim long because I know that Minmas will continue to rotate underneath us. So, braking maneuver is going to be 32 seconds. Fast forward time. Right here is pretty good. So what I want to go ahead and do is just slow myself down and get set for, you know, a flatter landing, really. Like that. That will do. Since Minmas's gravity is so low, I can really start this burn at probably 10 or 12 seconds. Let's get this landing gear cycled. Let's get the lights turned on. We are ready for this base landing. So look at this, we had so much fuel left. Here we come, Minmas. No stopping us now. Yeah, won't let us warp time anymore. So once again, when you're landing, the best thing to do is point right at the retrograde marker. With respect to surface, make sure you change that. You don't want orbit, you want surface when you're coming in for a landing. And what's going to happen is, as you slow down, your retrograde marker is naturally going to sort of arc towards the, basically towards this up and straight up and down thing. So now we're coming down. We will go, oops, auto, into it's V. Okay, here we go. Just trying to get myself a set of instruments that has a ground radar. Still gaining some velocity. Okay, now we need to hit the brakes. There we go. Keep that aimed right at that marker as much as we can. Okay, 300 meters per second. Or 300 meters, I should say. 250 meters down at 10. I want to get this down to about 5 meters per second. Because I know that these Minmas landings can be a little bouncy. Otherwise. Nice and smooth at 2 meters per second, 1.5, coming straight down pretty much. And touchdown. Here we go. Oh, landing gear don't extend down quite as far as I'd like, but that's right. And there we have it. We've completed the contract. We have a new surface base on Minmas for 225,900 funds. Now, what's interesting is I could totally take the surface base and, you know, come back home. I have plenty of fuel. But I think we'll actually we'll get the crew out and have them do some stuff. But I didn't have any missions to plant a flag. Plant the flag. Ruben was here for science. An EVA report, which we will then definitely transmit back. We can get a crew report here, transmit that back as well, review stored data, and transmit that back for some science. A little bit of science here and there never hurts anything, and we are here at the Pentabase. I should go ahead and can I redesignate? Yes, I can. Base. Pentabase Minmas. And yeah, we still have plenty of gas left in this guy. For whatever else we wanted to do, if there were other observation missions around the Minmas area, we could go take a look. But that is going to be it for episode 29 of Let's Play Kerbal Space Program Beta Than Ever. This series has always proven to be really good, so until next time, keep flying and stay shiny. Goodbye!